On today's episode, we talk with Susan Bourassa from Coast to Coast Interiors, who serves the Fairfax, Virginia and surrounding areas. Listen in as Susan explains how she got started in the home staging industry and how their military background has helped their company grow. Grab some coffee and join us.
This is the Stager Boss podcast from StagerBoss.com with the founder of HSRA, Jana Uselton. The Home Staging and Redesign Association is a group of like-minded professionals dedicated to revolutionizing the real estate industry by making a difference in the lives and businesses of home stagers and redesigners everywhere. Join us as we talk to the best of the best in this industry from all over the world and hear how they are using their training and experience to make a difference in the clients they serve. If you are a real estate industry expert looking for better ways to market and sell properties, join us for this podcast series.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of our Stager Boss podcast. We're super excited about our guest today. You know, this is a time that we interview some of the best home staging companies throughout the country. And today I'm honored to have Miss Susan. She's with Coast to Coast Inspirations. They serve the entire DMV area. You're going to learn more about that if you're not in that location. And we're super excited to have you. So welcome, Miss Susan.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's quite an honor to be interviewed by you.
Well, I cannot wait to unpack kind of your business and how you got started in this industry and what drives you today to do what you guys do. So share with us how you got started in home staging.
Yeah, so I know a lot of you all got started in the corporate world, which is really a cool story that you all have. But for me, it was a little different. I was always kind of torn, you know, back when I was deciding my major, do I want to do marketing or do I want to do your interior design? And, you know, going through college and that, I was always, even as a teenager, I was obsessed with like advertising. And I always wanted to better sell products and do print ads and all of that. So then I ended up marrying my husband in college, and he joins the Coast Guard. So our first duty station pretty much is what determined my major. So interior design was not an option, so marketing it was. But, you know, we got a lot of experience moving and setting up new homes and selling a few over the years. And we came here, I was pretty much a professional stay-at-home mom and volunteer, as I like to say. Spent a lot of time doing event planning and a lot of hospitality for my Coast Guard spouses in different locations, whether it be organizing their meals, things like that, and through all those get-togethers and with the event planning, like I said. And came here to the Washington, D.C. area for my husband to go to grad school. And I decided it was time for him to be a stay-at-home dad and time for me to start my professional career. So I dabbled a little bit in the event planning and decided with the bridal industry that was not the direction I wanted to go. Then I tried out some real estate. I ended up working for a realtor in the area, a pretty high volume broker, and discovered I did not want to be a real estate agent. But as I'm sitting there and then pushing paper was not really my thing. I wanted to do something very creative. The home staging kind of popped onto my radar. I had looked at it in the past, just didn't have time to pursue it because we weren't at a duty station long enough. Came here, and that realtor became my first client, basically. So it's worked out really well. It gave me a great understanding about how the business rolls, their timelines, and what it's like to put a house on the market. And there you go.
Yeah, I love it. That's a great story. It's funny because, you know, mentioned before, sometimes it's not that first idea, but it can be the second or it leads to, right, where you end up and you grow to. So that's huge. Well, with the area that you serve, large area, what are the services that you guys offer, and who do you love to work with? I mean, who needs these services?
Yeah, so the area is big, and we'll service, you know, DC, Maryland, Virginia. We'll go beyond that if anybody needs it. We just do a surcharge, usually beyond an hour. The services we offer, well, we have what we call a ready for market consultation, which is, the home staging consultation a lot of people do. We do still provide the actual written checklist. I know a lot of people don't do that anymore, and some people don't feel the clients find it valuable, but our particular market of clients seems to find it very helpful. We even find it laying at the properties later, and it's all checked, and they're so proud, and they show it to their realtors. So some people call it a prescription.
Homework assignment.
Look, we did it. Like A+ for you. Okay. So, yeah, that really works well for us. So we'll start with that. Then we also provide ongoing client care. Some people, when they leave, it's kind of over, but for us, I'm always like, if they're kind of doing some of that staging themselves and going to remove some things and you can tell they're not too sure, I'm like, go ahead and take a picture and send it to me, and I'll be happy to give you feedback, maybe move this a little bit over here, or maybe they want to buy their own pillows for their patio and they're not really sure. And I'll kind of lead them in a direction and move this one over here. So we'll do that as well. But then of course we do the home staging, and that's probably that's our favorite thing to do. And we'll service any of the real estate professionals, the realtors, the builders, the investors, and just sellers sometimes call us as well. But that's our favorite thing to do, I would say. I love the clean slate. I love being able to come in and figure out who that buyer is. And that's where the marketing in me really comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I really love to dive in and sell to that person basically, and really get them emotionally connected with that property.
That's so good. And I also share the major of marketing, and I always pull from that principles like 101 of marketing when it comes to the 4 P's of selling any product, place, price, promotion, and the product itself. And staging is marketing. We are literally marketing and merchandising a home, and helping it look better, helping it be attractive to people. So it's great to hear you talk about, the two and really working those together, because anytime there's property to sell, no matter if it's occupied or it's vacant, it's like getting it ready for the first date, right?
Yes.
And I love the analogy, it's like everyone is shopping, just like they're dating online. They are literally shopping for homes online and dating these homes. And then it comes to, what is the experience going to be when they actually meet that person or that home? Is it just like what they saw online, or is it kind of a bait and switch? So how important is it to really understand the target audience and that target buyer in each of your projects?
Yeah, for us, that's very important. We don't just have like a package deal that goes into every property. We're so specific. We look at, what the community is, and especially here, depending where you live, there's these different kind of like micro communities within, in all these little city areas and different towns. They all have a little bit of a different vibe, and maybe they're near a specific government agency that is going to draw a certain type of worker. Maybe it's across the street from a school, so you figure that's probably going to draw in the families there. So playrooms are important, things like that. And yeah, we love tapping into that and seeing how it pulls together, at the end there.
Yeah, that's so good. And I don't know if you have this experience. Of course, we have a staging company here in Dallas-Fort Worth, and our national association helps train, equip, and just provide CE in an unlicensed industry to, our fellow stagers. And so these days, it seems like people are kicking tires. They're calling staging companies to price check, and it's like we've been turned into a commodity, so to speak. And just had the conversation with our team. It's like we're not selling a can of Coke, that it's the same can of Coke you could get in any different convenience store that might price it a little differently. It is a box of chocolates. It's oranges and apples whenever you're comparing companies to work with. So when you get the call that says, how much do you charge? And they're trying to just really turn this service into something that, it is a one and done. And how do you kind of conversate with them to share the value that home staging brings and kind of all the moving parts that we offer to help people?
Yeah. And I do almost find that it's helpful to add that up front, that we are not going to be your lowest offer, that you're going to get. And, I've heard some of our, industry experts have used that, and I wasn't so sure about it, but it started getting to the point where it's like, I felt like I was wastefully giving them a proposal, knowing fair well that they weren't going to get back to me once they saw it, once I knew they were price shopping. Once you get the referral from someone, they want you because they're sold on you, that they're, somebody's recommended and they want you for specific reasons. But when they're price shopping, they're really just looking at price. So it's been working, and that's been working really well, because I feel like it's putting it out there out front, and it's giving them that impression of that opportunity to ask the questions, and that I can offer to them, we're not going to be your lowest offer proposal that you get, but I can tell you that, and then offer them what we're going to put into it. And what I've seen, when we have been underbid, as a result, that, that they won't iron. The look is disjointed. It doesn't hold together. It doesn't sell.
Right.
And it gives them that opportunity to step back and go, oh, you're not all created the same, because I think they're still learning that. And that's the big thing that we really, it gives us that education process when you kind of put it out there.
Yes. Well, Susan, you really hit the nail on the head there, because I don't think it's intentional. I think it's just one of those uneducated ways that people just respond. And I love that agents, builders, investors, they understand the value of home staging when it comes to the final product, and what that can put into their listing and impact the sale. But then it comes, I think it's the next level of education that's missing, that says not all staging companies are created equal. You understand staging is important. Now let me tell you what an unlicensed industry looks like. You can really feel like you're not sure, you don't know what you're going to get until that final reveal. And so them understanding that it is a service. We literally had the call that said, you know what, that we went with the cheaper stager, but they called us the day before and they couldn't deliver. So that's not great for anyone. It's not great for the agent who referred, maybe the seller, who's waiting, and time is money. And so it really is about experts working with other experts. So I 100% agree. We don't want to be the cheapest, because you get what you pay for. And unfortunately, lessons have to be learned the hard way sometimes.
That's true.
It's true. And sometimes we'll have to pick up the mess. Oh, well, tell me about when it comes to your services and those sweet spots in your team, how long are you guys scheduling out? What is your inventory? I mean, how do you source inventory, and your team concept? If I were to say, what business model are you operating? Tell us a little bit about that.
It's an evolving business model, I think. It's constantly evolving. We work really well with about 8 people at all times, and at least I say 8 to 12, and it just depends, if you're including people moving the furniture and everything else. We have inventory for about 14 properties at a time, and but we will continue to grow as needed. So as those properties continue, if we need more things, or if and the big thing, like I said, we're very specific to each property. So if what we have in our warehouse is not going to work for that property, we will make sure we get something that does, because it's not going to be the only property out there that's like that. So we'll surely use it again. Let's see, business model. We work very specific to each property, like I said. Yeah, where were we going with that, Jana?
Yeah, what I love to hear is that it's not just you running the business, out of your home, and we kind of all started that way, but you've selected a business model that does involve team, and it involves you having your own inventory in your warehouse. So you've really taken it to the highest and best. You're on that roadmap of next level, because sometimes, as we mentioned before, you have the stager that decides, I only want to grow so big, and I only want to stage what I can stage. And we come into that crossroads in our business, and we can choose a business model of growth, to where now we're replicating ourselves, we're training others to be able to do that, which is the route you've taken.
Yes, and I would say most of the people who work with us generally want to become certified stagers as well. So we've already had one who has gone off. She was only with us about 4 months, and she went and became a certified stager. So that's very helpful to me. And we have more. A few of our others want to do it as well. It's just a matter of making that fit in everybody's life.
Yes,
that can prioritize that and fit that in. But we're looking forward to have more taking on that as well. But everybody seems, we're great people. Everybody's great people, and we all seem to have the same priorities and goals, and love the results. So
that's good. And I love too that you invest in your continuing education, that you don't have to, you're part of our association, and you're part of going to events and really collaborating with other colleagues, professional colleagues in the industry. And you see them, and we've got some incredible stagers all over the country that truly just understand this is not a hobby, and this is next level business. And you also mentioned, which I love, you don't have to work with everybody everywhere, but sometimes your team of 8 is only going to be able to service so many people. There's so many hours in a day. But if you were to find the core client that you love to work with, who would you love to add to your client list? Is it the agent? Is it the builder, investor, all of the above?
We have a lot of agents. We service about 70 agents.
Great.
Basically through the area, and and teams and all that. So we're quite steady with the agents. We have some investors, so that would be a nice area to expand, and we'd certainly love to expand the builders as well. But yeah, we seem to have the agent thing going. And I think what happens is you kind of get in that loop, that network of people and it snowballs because they refer you within the people that they know. So we just need to branch out a little more and get a few investors and the builders. But we love our agents. We love working with them, and we take great pride in tailoring our business model for them.
Yes.
That they each have a different business model, so they have different needs. Some of them are paying for the staging, some of them are not, some of them are splitting the staging. There's budgets involved. So we do what we can, whether it's cutting out certain rooms to accommodate we'll help advise them their budget, to even some of the vignette staging if we have to in a certain room. You can still show as an office without maybe the furniture. We do what we can, to work within each of their business models and their particular brand of marketing.
Yeah, that's so good. And you're helping improve their brand just by being an expert yourself, which is nice, because we're trained in our industry, to really have that top level brand that we can complement, the people that we're working with. We can help elevate and believe that we, just as the other ancillary services or potential, partners in business when it comes to real estate, that we want to be the go-to. We want to be the one-stop shop. We want to be the one that says, you know what, let us handle this. We're going to make sure that this home is show ready for you. So I love that. I love, Susan, what you guys are doing and how your business has grown. What's next for you? What's kind of the next step?
Well, I think it's about getting some more of those people certified, and it's about getting a few more good, solid people with us. We are in a pretty in an area where people do come and go a lot. So it's a little challenging here in the government kind of area, but we've been so blessed that we have so many military people working with us, for one thing. I'm a Coast Guard spouse. I have 3 other Coast Guard spouses with me. We're going to get another one. We've had Army, we've had Navy, we've had Marine. And I think that it really helps us roll with the punches a lot more. When somebody cancels at the last, not cancel, but when they postpone at the last minute, things like that, we're able to just like, oh, okay, that's how our life goes. So
yep. Next.
But so that's one thing, is getting more people further educated. And we try to have at least a monthly meeting that we're doing some training in a boardroom somewhere. A lot of our real estate people that we work with will let us use their boardrooms and different things. We'll meet at those locations, gives us an opportunity to get to know them better and continue to have a nice some kind of a meeting, whether it's going over our processes and things like that we all need to be on the same page a little bit more about, or how can we improve here, to the new design trends, so that we're all on board and making everything look exactly like it should to have the optimal product. And then the other thing that we really want to get into that we've tried and we just haven't quite found the right place yet, is we want to do some more philanthropy. And we had somebody in charge of that, but she's no longer with us. She had to relocate. So we would love to do something, since we are such a military organization and such here, that maybe we could, some of the homes for veterans and different things, maybe we could get into. I'm also very blessed to have one of my lead stagers has she's extremely involved. She's a ambassador for the Alzheimer's Association. So I think that's another avenue we're going to be looking at, is, how can we give to the caregivers who, give so much. And we take pride in being a very compassionate company and taking care of our clients in that way. So we want to give back to those who maybe don't think to call us, but that we can kind of reach out to. And I know we have another one in the works that with a local agency, but it's just, sometimes it takes time.
It does. It absolutely does. And I love that. I love that is your heart, and you're just here to serve. It's here to serve. And I love your name, Coast to Coast. I love inspirations, and how you guys.
We changed that recently. You probably did. So we were Coast to Coast Inspirations because the theory was I've lived all the way from Alaska to Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm. Coast to coast.
I can't be inspired by that, but we've changed it since we started buying our own inventory, that we are now Coast to Coast Interiors.
Oh, great. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, that is amazing.
Still Coast to Coast inspired for sure.
Yes, I love it. I love it. And thank you for being an inspiration to not only your community there, the people that you work with, but really our entire industry, because we look for people like you and like your companies that can inspire, and as we all grow together and elevate up, it allows us to be in a more professional industry, and people can take us more seriously, and they're not necessarily kicking tires, finding the cheapest, because we're not house cleaners. We're not someone that's going to come, clean the windows and all of those things. We are here to serve. Have we cleaned windows? Have we cleaned a few? We don't, that's not our core competency, I'll say. We're here to help those properties really merchandise them so that they get top dollar, and understand we're marketing, right? We're pro marketers.
Absolutely. First and foremost, we are marketing that home for sale to get it top dollar, higher bids, more offers, sell quickly, all of that, get that return on the investment.
Well, I love it. I love it. Well, thank you, Susan, with Coast to Coast Interiors, for being an inspiration to all of us. And if people are out there and they want to connect with you, how can they reach you guys?
Yeah, so we have our website, which is www.susanbourassa.com, because I hadn't really settled the name when we did that. But of course, you can always reach out to me. My phone number is 907-738-2437. And that is an Alaska phone number you'll be calling because we're coast to coast. Yeah, we had somebody one time ask me, what territories we serve. And I was like, we'll go pretty much anywhere. And she asked me, what about Alaska? And I'm like, well, we have an Alaska phone number. And actually. And then my other lead stager said, and mine's Puerto Rico. But yeah, so you can call us at the 907 number, and you're not really calling Alaska anymore, for Northern Virginia, but and through our social media, we do get the Facebook messages, not my favorite way because I feel like they seem to get lost sometimes, but we'll check and just find us.
That sounds great, and you guys can get all that information as well with the connection here that we have, and we'll make sure it's all together down below so that you can reach out. And I just want to say again, thank you, Susan, for all that you guys are doing. Can't wait to talk next time and see the growth from here on out. So hope you have a great day.
Thank you. You too, and thanks for having me.
Okay, bye-bye.